Adam Lindemann and I were in my office, and I showed him a photograph from 1957 of my grandfather with a model of a sculpture, and then this projector light making a shadow on a wall to judge its scale for a commission for a little intimate garden. And he thought that was so cool, that the shadow was so prominent and dominant, and the interaction between the shadow and the object was really interesting subject. So he said, let's do a show about that. The most exciting aspect of the show are the activated shadows, the mobiles in motion with their shadows, where the shadow is both in dialogue with the object, but because Adam and his lighting designer came up with the idea to really have this kind of raking light where the shadow grows. So as the mobile turns, the mobile remains in a 30-inch span, but the shadow actually expands and contracts as the shadow is presented on the wall. So you have this, almost this kind of breathing feeling, this growth and contraction. Even I'm surprised because, you know, I've lived with these sculptures all my life, and to see something almost organic, it's exciting. First of all these sculptures are supposed to be domestic. You're supposed to be in people's homes. You're supposed to live with them and interact with them and engage them and be present to them, be in harmony with them or disharmony with them. This sculpture is from 1974. It's an untitled work. A lot of people would look at it and say it's unfinished because it's not painted, but it's actually signed and dated 74. So in 1974, he made a series of works which catch the light. So the articulation of the elements as it flows through space, you'll see they're dark, almost black, lighter, gray, and then they flash silver. Imagine if you're in a living room, the reflected light off of the shiny material would create these beacons. So the reflections would travel on one side of the wall and the shadows would travel on the other side of the wall. So the shadow's in focus, but the reflected light is like clouds of brightness traversing the wall and defining the space that you're occupying with the sculpture. You always see shadows with Calders in exhibitions and museums, but you don't have it like this. You don't have the subject being shadows. In growing up with him, I learned a lot about how to see things, not just his work, but he taught me how do you examine, experience, live, and you go to an exhibition, how do you experience a work of art? Well, you have to open yourself, you have to kind of forget what you know, you have to present yourself to it, just respond to it. And in your response to it, does it communicate something? Is there something shared? And then after the fact, you can go and get into the details of its history.